Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage CRAFTSMAN TRILITE pipe lighter made in Japan. This lighter appears to be unused. Looks really clean. It was recently purchased with a group of lighters. The two lighters that I purchased that lot for were generally not in the same condition as they were described in the listing. So I was a little disappointed in that, but not disappointed at all in this lighter. It looks really nice, cleaned up pretty well. And we still have at least one little problem here, and that is that the file wheel is seized up. We will pull the insert out of the case, remove our flint spring and screw, set those to the side here. Remove our felt cover pad. And we are going to leave the wadding in there. I removed the pad so that hopefully when we use this drill or the one in the power drill to break through this obstruction, hopefully the powder and degraded flint that comes out of there does not contaminate our wadding. So that's the number one reason why we are removing the felt pad. Now we will keep this going downhill and try to put pressure down onto the drill bit. You can see here on the inside of that file wheel where there is degraded flint that is rubbed up against that wheel as it is moved. So it looks like somebody has moved that wheel up against that degraded flint, but that occurred before I came into possession of the lighter. So spinning the wheel, or not spinning the wheel, spinning the drill bit, and there's not much there that I can get a hold of with my hands. We are about at the extent of it. You can see that there is definitely dust dropping down out of there, but the tube, I believe, is going to be longer than the drill bit that we have here on hand. I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit of this wadding out. So basically it looks like I'm pulling all of the wadding out, and hopefully I can pull it out of there in a manner to where I can put it all back in the exact same way. So there is the wick. Not going to hurt anything for that wick to be in there as long as we don't get that contaminated. What we're going to do here is take out the hex drill bit. Now we're going to just put in a bit, which is not a hex bit. This is a bit that requires a drill with a chuck. And let's just see if we can get this in here deep enough to get the length that we need to reach up into that tube as far as we need to. Okay. Now we put our bit into the tube. See that the fire wheel is turning. Get some canned air, blow in that tube. And let's take a look at our fire wheel here. Definitely looks like it could use to be cleaned up a bit. It doesn't look horrible where that flint debris was on the fire wheel. Looks like it's all cleaning up off of there pretty easily, as you would expect. And that actually looks about as close to new as you can get. There are some scuffs on that wheel, some marks, some dings, whatever you want to call them. There you see it spinning freely. When the flint spring is installed, then it does not spin, because the tip of that spring is making contact with the fire wheel. So the next thing we are going to do is grab a flint. If the flint goes down the tube, and then we install the flint spring and screw. And we have pressure on the wheel. So I'm not going to strike this because this lighter is unused. We don't want to gather any soot or carbon, whatever you want to call it, up in that chimney. So what we are going to do here is grab a hold of our wick, hold on to that as we place our wadding back down into the case of the lighter. There is the bottom end of our wick. It's right there about where we want it. I'm going to put the cotton down the back side of the tube here. You can see that it does have some green tarnish from something inside of that case. Most likely getting a little damp. And then reacting accordingly. So there's both pieces back down the back side, and now this piece here back on the main part at the end of our wick right there. So we install our felt pad back. There's our flint, which is still brand new and unstruck, which we will include with the lighter. Place our flint spring and screw on top of the felt pad. And once we've got our insert replaced into the lighter case, we have what appears to have never been used CRAFTSMAN TRILITE pipe lighter, made in Japan, with a cleared flint tube and a brushed chrome finish. Very nice lighter. Until next time.